Good morning, pregame crew. How are y'all doing? It's Thursday, July 14th, 8:22 a.m. Eastern, 6:22 a.m. Mountain Time. I'm Chart Gal Lori. You're at the pregame show. What I do here every morning is I go over indices, commodities, crypto movers and shakers of the day, and I get started officially around 6:30 a.m. my time down here at the right bottom corner. If you're tuning in later in the day, you may want to fast forward to 6:30. Between now and then, I'm going to do an audio visual check. I'm going to say hello to my friends and do a few chart requests. We have PPI data at 6:30 or 8:30 Eastern, and we have jobless claims. Good morning, Night Truck Robert. Bonjour, Maria, Greg. Hey, Bennett, Carlos, Andre, Lori, Mary, Christopher, Train Man, Anu, Carlos, Raj, Bobo. Perfect. Thank you, Night Truck. Hey, Rob, DWZ. Yeah, hit the like button, please. Send you electricity. Okay, Ian, zap. Hey, Keggers. Augustine, Andre. Happy British Open to the golf lovers out there. Good morning. PPI data in 7 minutes. With all data, I hardly ever look at the data itself. I'm more interested in levels and how price reacts at that level. And we are at the key support on SPY. So I typically give you ES levels, but yesterday I shared with you these levels on SPY. I think they're pretty important. 37256 is that key daily support. If we lose that, then we're looking down at the gap at 36938, and then the next support 36217. The bank earnings have already come out and they missed. So far, Morgan Stanley missed and JP Morgan missed. So they came out much earlier this morning, probably 45 minutes ago, and they missed. Okay, I'm going to work up from the bottom. And I'm not playing favorites, I promise. Okay, maybe. I am. I love me some Bennett. Okay, platinum. Lost that support yet, 821. 790 is your next support, Bennett. There's just nothing. I see no bulls, no excitement, nothing igniting metals. Dollar is just walloping. Well, that's a 1930s word, walloping the metals. King dollar is killing the metals. I see no redeeming reason or no compelling reason to buy a metal right now. I do think we're going to get an oversold bounce. I'd like to see a volume climax. We're just not getting it. You see, I would like more of those volume bars down here and then have them trend up to let me know that maybe we're getting into some type of volume climax, but it's just a slow grind down. And I want you to pay attention to how many charts have the frown on the 50 MA. You see the yellow line? 99% of our charts have a frown except for the VIX. So all of our EMAs, most of our EMAs are pointing down. Bears have momentum this morning, and with banks missing, they really have a great setup. I have one glimmer of hope for the bulls today, and I'll go over in just a second. You're welcome, Bennett. I am feeling better. You love hearing Queen of the Mountain trades. GW, I'll try to give you one this morning. How about that? Carlos, I don't know if it will bounce here. The SPY will bounce. We have the dark pool level at 375. We're below that now. Now we are looking down at the low of the CPI reaction at 373.18. We broke that just ever so slightly. We want to hold these pre-market levels. And just remember, we bounce. All these beautiful bounces are cooling off RSI. So we've been getting these bounces midday, and what they do is they work to cool off RSI so the bears can take it down another leg. We're not oversold on the hourly on SPY. That's pretty crazy. 4 hour, not oversold. We're not. Look at ES. Not oversold on ES either. And if you want your key levels, if you want to cheat and look ahead, the light gray levels over here, these are the resistance and support. We have a double bottom right now. I like the risk to reward of bottom fishing 37.40, but I think we have a high probability of getting stopped out. X. Has steel been getting a little giddy up? Potential weekly bear flag forming. It's getting a little bounce, but look at that on declining volume earnings, July 28th. I would call this a triple top at 1815, 1814, 1810. I wouldn't say this is strength with a daily 8 EMA manhandling price. When you look at your EMAs, you have to digest what they're telling you. The green is, for me, is the 8 and the red is the 21. So the green is the fast EMA, meaning it's only measuring the last 8 candles, their averages, and it's exponential moving average. So it's weighting the more recent ones more heavily, has more of a recency bias. So the exponential moving average is just 8 candles. And it just shows, it's the quick EMA, if you will. It just shows the strength of the bears. Yeah, this is just 4-hour choppy sideways action. Thanks, Dan. I appreciate that. This is tradingview.com. I am recovering. Thank you. ADA, okay. I'll look at Coinbase since you didn't specify, so I'll just look at this one. If you need something else, let me know. Daily inside bar right now on Coinbase, resistance 44 cents, support 4019. Got a double top at 44 cents. Potential bear flag on the daily. This looks just like Ethereum and Bitcoin. Hourly downtrend. 30-minute downtrend. So if you don't have a position in this, I would be looking to short 44 cents. Hey, Karkuki, how are you? Morning. Yes. Yes, typically, if a chart was trending upward, the 8 EMA would be trending bullish, yes. It's so funny, I'm trying to think of a bullish chart. I don't have a lot. Even the VIX, I think the VIX has problems. That's actually my glimmer of hope for the market bulls. But yes, you can see the 8 EMA is trending up here on the hourly as the VIX is moving up. Oh, it's 6:30. Y'all ready to get started? Let's do this. Good morning. This is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori. I'm part of the Chart Guys community. We teach technical analysis. If you want to give me a follow on Twitter at Chart Gal Lori, that would be great. What I do here every morning is I type up all my notes, and when I'm done, I copy and paste these notes over to TCG members so they can slice and dice them as they see fit. If you're interested in my chart setup, you can click on the link below in the video description to receive a PDF explanation as to what all the rainbow bright colors on my chart means. So we've got Hang Seng and DAX. They're both slightly red. Let me go check on DAX right now. Let's see. A DAX is going down a little bit more because they're still open. So they're down 1.37%. So they're coming down just a little more now. Hang Seng closed only down 0.22%. A PPI just released and jobless claims. So I wouldn't say, well, that kind of is an exaggerated reaction, but gotta hold that 3741. 3741. Thank you, Mary. Thank you for that. Hi, Jowl. I don't know how to say that. Thank you. Okay, that's looking a little better. That's looking promising for bulls. Looking a little promising. We're down here at support. Okay, get back to it, Lori. All right, so, excuse me. So Hang Seng and DAX are slightly red. JPM and Morgan Stanley, they both missed on earnings, on the earnings per share and revenue. We just got the PPI and jobless claims. I haven't had time to assess that, nor does it really matter. Overall, the daily EQ continues and we're dangerously close to support. What we were looking for this morning is we needed the banks to step up and help, SOS, help us. And they didn't. They both missed. That's what we were looking for. Now, what's the next catalyst? We have GDP numbers coming up. We have Amazon, Apple, all the big generals earnings coming up, and FOMC. So we still got an action-packed July, and we're down here testing support. And let me show you the most dangerous thing that I see on the chart right here. Do you see that? some of these days, I just think of my geometry teacher in high school, poor thing. We put her through the ringer. But I think of these angles and the slopes, and she would beat our hands with a ruler. But the slope of the EMA, the way it's curling down, I hope you can see that. This green line, you see how it's curling down and we're separating from the 8 and 21? I want you to look the last time we did that. When the 8 starts pulling away from that 21, that's velocity on the short term, velocity to the downside. So that is very concerning for me, is a separation between the 8 and the 21. That's something I'm keeping an eye on. So I'm okay buying this dip at 3740 and maybe put your stop down at 3735. I'm okay with that because the risk to reward is so great. You have a high probability of getting stopped out, but if you nail that low, the reward is much greater than the risk. So that's why I'm okay with it. I'm okay buying this low down here, but odds favor a daily low or high. And then we're just going to get tighter in this VIX EQ on the weekly. So this VIX EQ continues to tighten as we're in a weekly inside bar. And ES, we broke through the low. Wait, 742. Yeah, we broke through the low of last week. So we technically broke this inside bar to the downside, but we held that 374125. I hope that makes sense. So we did break the inside bar down, but we're holding by the hair of our chinny chin chin. NASDAQ did not. NASDAQ, we're still inside. RTY, we're still inside last week's range. YM, we broke bear. We broke last week's low and the prior week's low. So we broke this daily EQ support, 30241. We broke it by 100 points. So the Dow has financial weighting and exposure. So I'm assuming the JPM and the Morgan Stanley is impacting the Dow more so than others. And that's why they've broken support. So the question is the Dow a canary? And is it telling us the other three will follow? Or is the Dow hanging on by a rope and saying, help me, NASDAQ, please don't break the low, and then help me reverse out of this mess? So it's just something to note. So I lumped the top three in. Daily EQ continues, dangerously close to support, but Dow lost it. So VIX daily 50 MA still overhead. This is the only glimmer of hope. Anomaly. It just doesn't make sense to me the way the market is behaving. I would think VIX would be more elevated. Let me show you what I mean. First of all, y'all know the daily 50 MA is important for me. It remains overhead on the VIX. That's a bearish sign for me. We're at the 50 RSI. We're barely over it. So 50 RSI can serve as resistance. We have the 50 MA overhead. 4 hour, we're looking for a lower high compared to 2906. On the hourly, we're looking for a lower high compared to 2906. I hope you see what I'm driving home here. VIX for me has a bearish setup. It has a top fishing setup. That's bullish the market. And that gives me a little more confidence in buying this dip of the market against 3740 is this VIX setup. But literally, it's the only chart that gives me confidence in doing that. Everything else is bearish. And y'all know, when I say everything, of course, there's always qualifiers. I try not to tend to use hyperbole, but you know what I mean. The majority of charts are leaning bearish. Bitcoin, these bear flags are just screaming, folks. Weekly bear flag, daily bear flag. 1 second, I need to cough. 1 second. All right, sorry about that. So we have a weekly bear flag. I lost chat. Good morning. Good morning? So potential daily bear flags and weekly bear flags. Sorry, I lost my place there. We have enough room for a 4 hour higher low on Bitcoin. I would say this is a small glimmer of hope for Bitcoin bulls and Ethereum bulls, but I'm not eager to buy here. I'm completely on the sidelines right now in crypto. I don't see a compelling reason to buy. None whatsoever. These nice bounces just cool off RSI. That's all it does. It just gives the bears more room to the downside. It basically clears more runway for them. Thank ya. This week's VIX EQ 5 times fast. Yeah, that's hard, huh? All right, gold. What a mess. Just total meltdown. And the same thing I was saying for Bennett earlier for platinum. There's just no interest. There's no buying interest in stepping in and buying this. You look at the hourly. They pop it just to pull it down again. So gold is dangerously close to this. We have 2 supports remaining. Well, I couldn't have drawn that any worse. We have 2 supports remaining, 1673 and 1677. That's it. That's all we got left. Then we're looking down at 1450. We have given up so much space. A nice good bounce in gold, I would love to swing a short. And the size of the pole of pulling how we've done on the monthly chart, a bounce could possibly be a bear flag. So metal bulls, they just have a long way to go. I'm sorry, I didn't start with the most important chart. Shame on me. Dollar confirmed the daily bull flag. I apologize to all broadening formations this morning when I drew this in our commodities channel because it's just so pathetic and it's not a real one, but it does have higher highs without a ton of follow through yet. But dollar bulls are fully large and in charge of this chart, and they are wreaking havoc on metals, on the indices. Just like yesterday when we were watching this topping out, if you were here yesterday, you know I was watching for this to top out so we could find a bottom in the market. And sure enough, that marked the temporary bottom of the market for us to bounce. Well, dollar, when are you going to sit down? It has to sit down for the market to bounce. And for gold to get any reprieve, copper, silver, platinum, they're all taken to the woodshed. Okay, oil is bouncing. We had inventory yesterday. We're still anticipating an hourly lower high compared to $97. So on a bounce, we're still expecting that hourly lower high. And 4 hour a lower high compared to that $97. Trying to think of where a top fish. I guess a top fish would be $96 on oil. Nat gas continues to defy gravity over here. Odds still favor a weekly lower high. 698.2, that level represents a bear flag. As long as we stay below that level on the weekly, we have a potential bear flag on the weekly nat gas chart. Daily, we broke resistance. I wouldn't say we have a daily trend change. Those pivots weren't clear for me. But 4 hour, we do. Support 6582 and 6014. Apple, we talked about this broadening formation yesterday and it came into fruition. So we hit the bottom and we finally found a bottom at the bottom of this trend line. And now we're right in the middle. I would say Apple is in a tough spot for me. 4 hour broadening formation is a choppy range. Because we bounced so nicely yesterday, we have enough room for a higher low. Excuse me, I'm going to cough again. They have enough room for a higher low compared to 142.12. So I guess I would say the short is shorting 146.45 or bottom fishing 143.68 if you want to be aggressive. You want to be conservative, bottom fishing 142.12. Anything in the middle, I think, is just you're going to get chopped up. Joey, you can rewind. I started with SPY. Okay, Amazon. I'm going to show you something very odd on Amazon. If you're a member of TCG, you know I've done diamond reversal pattern videos for the community. So Amazon has an interesting diamond bullish reversal candle. I think the market, the market really needs Amazon to break bull out of this EQ. I can't trade that pattern. That's not tradable information, but it is something that I'm just keeping in the back of my mind. And we have this tight daily EQ forming. So for me, we're still in the middle of no man's land with Amazon. Amazon got to upgrade, I believe. Yeah, they got to upgrade this morning. And just like Apple, we have enough room for a higher low compared to yesterday's low. And the hourly 50 MA is overhead. So whatever chart you're looking at, if you're yellow, if your 50 MA has a frown like this, whenever price touches it, short it. And until it stops working. And when it stops working, then stop out. But Amazon, I like a short against the hourly 50 MA or a long against 106.01. And we could stay range bound. If Amazon and Apple stay inside yesterday's range, they had very large ranges, then it's possible that they could just get inside bars and then the market goes sideways today. Nvidia and AMD are positioned better than other names. So I guess I do have two glimmers of hope. VIX, 4-hour lower high, and the semiconductors, AMD got an upgrade this morning and they're holding up really well. So we have the hourly 50 MA overhead. So I'm not going to go back against my word that I just said shorting the hourly 50 MA makes sense, but we're right here testing that 50 MA. Over 153.75, we've got an hourly trend change. What do I say, y'all? The semis are the fuel to the engine of the market. If the semis could get going today, and we had TSM earnings, I could not find the actual earnings itself, but it's green. So Taiwan Semiconductors had bullish earnings reaction this morning, and I think that's helping the semiconductors overall. So that's the second glimmer of hope I offer you. $150 is your support, then the low of yesterday. You want to see that high taken out pretty quickly, yesterday's high. Okay, and I'm going to just switch to AMD real quick. I think AMD is a long. We are over the hourly 50 MA on AMD. It got an upgrade this morning, and I like a bottom fish of 7688 or a long, otherwise known as a long. Back to Tesla. Upgrade this morning has enough room for hourly high or low, not guaranteed. So whatever setup I give you, if I give you a bullish setup, I only look to play those if the market's bullish. If I give you a bearish setup, I only look to play those if the market's bearish. So the hourly 50 MA is overhead, and we're right in the middle of that zone. We're literally right stuck in the middle of that zone. Makes me want to sell an iron condor. I got to think about that. That's a pretty big range. How big of a range is that? Wow, 7%. Did have an upgrade. Okay, I'm going to think about that. Back to my thoughts. It's caught in the middle of this range. The hourly 50 MA is overhead and is suppressing price right now. Until it can get over it, it's a short into 72618. Yep, the yields are inverted. Google's super weak. So if you remember Amazon, when they had their split, the next few days, it was super bearish. Well, Google doesn't have it split till next week, and it's already starting the sell-off. So Google, I would look to short bounces. It is very, very weak. That was a super bearish candle that closed yesterday with that upper wick rejecting a daily 50 MA. Hourly's oversold, so I would look to short bounces. So your first level of resistance, 226196, 2261 is what I'd look to short on Google. We could get a bounce into that level. That would be great. SIGA. All right, this is a back burner trade. And back burner trade just means that we got a new all-time high on SIGA yesterday, a monkeypox name. We cleared resistance by 20 cents. We need a little more follow through for that to be convincing, but this is a nice bullish chart. I found one. I would look to possibly buy an oversold bounce, the first 5 or 15 minute oversold bounce during regular trading hours for SIGA. You have support at 1422. 1422, then down at 1361. Laura, the banks and institutions will come out and give an upgrade, and they say the price target that I'm anticipating on Tesla is $1,000, and that's an upgrade from where it currently is at $700. That's what I mean by upgrade. NMD. Hey, Mr. Ivan. Okay. Let me do XLF, Ivan, and then I'll do INMD. So XLF is a short. So we had our banks kick off today. 2 of our biggest ones missed. And we've got more bank earnings coming tomorrow and next week. So if you're holding Bank of America or Wells Fargo or Citigroup and you haven't had earnings, I don't know if Citi had earnings this morning, and you haven't had earnings, what would you be looking to do today? Sell. I'd get it off my books because there's a high probability they're going to miss too. So we've already broken support here in pre-market. Support is 30.85 and we've already broken support. Your next support, you're looking down at 30.58. The market will need semiconductors to pull this train as hard as they can along with technology if XLF is going to have a soft day. And it looks as though XLF is going to have a soft day. So XLF is the fly in the ointment for market bulls today because of those earnings miss. So XLF, I'd look to short bounces. Short bounces back to the hourly EMAs. I use tick every single day, Darren. It is a bear in a China shop, I'm telling you. Dollar is tearing it up. Okay, InMed. It broke that daily triple top. Had a big bull day yesterday. Your resistance is 29.44, support 25.73. And you're right in the middle of that range. So that was a very large range yesterday. 14%, and you're in the middle of it. You could stay range bound today. But I think this is a good back burner trade setup. So for the first 5 or 15 minute oversold, this may be a good back burner setup, Mr. Ivan. Okay. Any chart request? I have voice left for 1 or 2. Looking. If y'all are not going to do a request, I will. Looked at this. CX has dividend today. Dividend today. 15-cent dividend, you wake up and you're 93 cents down. That doesn't really make sense, does it? Edit. Oh, okay, wait. PAXG. Okay, I'm just going to do this one. Daily inside bar, downtrend. 1680 is your next support. This looks as sad as gold itself, and the price is similar. Potential daily bear flag, 4-hour downtrend, hourly downtrend, 15-minute downtrend. Nothing redeeming to say about this chart. Edit and Crisp probably have back burners. Yes, beautiful. Absolutely. Absolutely. So who's asking about this? GSYL edit back burner. Yes. First 5 minute oversold. I like that one. I'm going to put an alert. I like that one a lot. First 5 minute or first 15 minute, depending on market strength. Okay, one more. XBI. XBI I like for back burner. I like for back burner first 5 minute or 15 minute oversold on XBI. And that's the only trade setup I see up here. It has relative strength. The biotechs have been outperforming everyone. So it definitely has relative strength, not looking to short it. So I would look to play bounces on back burners. Oh, Dan, thank you. Yeah, exactly, Bennett. Yes. All right. Oh, I got you. So it does look gold. It does track gold. That's interesting that I noticed that and I didn't know it was a proxy. Okay, last one. $53.49 is your last support here. It looks super, super sad. $54.05 is your support. Yesterday's low, then $54. All right, that's it for me. Use stop losses, everybody. Hit that like button before you hit the door. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate that you gave up your time just to hang out with me this morning. TCGers, I'll see you in the room.